Hello and welcome. In today's video we are gonna take this thing that I'm holding right here and we're gonna put it in a box and experiment with adding a control knob to it. Now you might wonder, what the hell am I talking about? If you didn't see, I made a short a couple of weeks ago where I showed you a fun thing you can do with a solar panel. If you have a ornament for your garden or window, something like a little owl or a cat or something that has eyes that will light up, and you charge it over the day and then in the night it will light up the eyes, then if you take out the circuit that is in it, it's just something like this. They're different sizes. I have another one right here, as you can see. But it doesn't matter. The size is just the size. It doesn't matter. I just prefer this one. And they do sound a little bit different, just so you know. So if you want to, you could think about that. But I have this thing here right here. And all you have to do is you have two LEDs on each end, one for each eye. And you take and remove one of the LEDs and you put a jack there instead. You take the positive to the positive, you know, the tip. And you take the negative or the ground to the ground. And then you just have a jack. And in today's video, we're going to put it into a box. I've made a little box out of some scrap aluminium that I had lying around because I recently had a bunch of lights that I had to replace, and I took the old lights, and these are lights for gardening, the special lights for that, and I took out the circuit board in those lights, the one that controls the lights, and I put them all into like a little sim thing, which you guys are gonna either you've already seen it or you're gonna get to see it. I don't know which way. I haven't decided which one of these are gonna go up first, but anyway, the shell of the lights became a little box. I cut out a hole in it, and now we're gonna just put that into a box and then we're gonna listen to it. We're also gonna add a potentiometer so that we can dim the light if we want to, and I'll show you how to do that. It's just a couple of wires, but anyway, let's jump into it and see what happens. Sounds good? I think it sounds good. First thing, we have the box right here, and first we have to just take this pot right here. This is a 250k pot, but it's just because I have some old pots from guitars I've taken apart lying around, and you know, it doesn't matter. So I'm gonna see if I can get this on. I might actually not be able to because I might need something a little bit longer, which is something I'm noticing right now. What the hell is this? I should have been prepared for that. Ah, I'm dropping everything. Oh well. Can you get it touched? I think so. I think that will work. Next thing we need to do is just feed this whole thing through here like so, and orient it the way we want it. I want it like this because then I'll have the two controls close to each other, and it'll just press this in. I cut this to be very snug so that I could just press fit this whole thing in, because otherwise I would have to like glue it or something. But I think this looks pretty cool. What do you think? And then the jack, it needs to go in here, and we might make these two cables a little shorter. We'll see. But this one, oh, come to the back here, you ring, boom, goes through here, gets screwed on here, something like that. Make sure nothing touches so that something is grounded out in a weird way. And you don't need to use one of these jacks. I realize that some of you don't have these at hand, but I just had that on hand, so that's why that's what I have. There we go. I think I'm going to shorten these cables a little bit right now, just because. So I'm going to take this one, pull it over here, not super taut, but a little bit, and just cut it off and strip it back. Just add a little bit of solder to my tip. Then we take the next one, and then we pull it over as well, give ourselves a little slack, and I have a weird feeling I'm not in frame for this, but then again, I am telling you what I'm doing, and you all know what I'm doing. Yeah, that looks good. Okay. Cool. Okay, now I have another cable. I have this back that I put on here, but I have this other back here that I pulled a new wire through because I want something a little thicker, and I like this connection part here. This is for a wall plug thing, but I think it's going to work for this because I mean, like, wires are just wires. So we put that there, and we screw this in, or at least we try to. Bang! And something like that. And I think I'm gonna have to change the camera angle now because I don't think you're gonna see what I'm doing on the inside. So, here we have a ground wire, and here we have the LED. So, the red wire needs to be connected to the red wire, but in between we're gonna have this pot. So, I'm gonna see if I can. I probably should have done this before. I did this because it's gonna be fiddly to do something in it, but you know, you can do the way I do, or you can think ahead. There we go. I hope you guys can see. I'm just gonna move this over to one side, one leg here, and hopefully I can sort of get them to melt together. Like I said, this is an old pot, so it might be a little hard to... Something like that. I hope that works. I'm gonna quickly use continuity mode to just make sure it's not actually touching the back. So I'm gonna hold one there, and okay, that's good. It's probably too close to be safe, but that's just the way it is. Okay, so that's the red one. This is the red one, it's the positive, and that needs to go into the middle. But this time, let's give ourselves a little wiggle room. It is nice to have as short cables as possible, but you do want a little slack, and you also want to be able to also, you know, like get the cables in place. It's very annoying if you're soldering things together and you can't even put them in place, you know. You gotta make it easy for yourself, or at least somewhat easy for yourself. There we go. Hope you can see I put it in there to the middle leg right there. And then we're gonna... I should put something down to make this pot not move. It doesn't... I mean, like, it's screwed down, but it still wants to wiggle around, so I might have to... Maybe I should add some hot glue to it or something. Anyway, first, let's take this wire here, and let's cut it off at... let's give ourselves a little bit more on this one, and let's also peel this one back a little bit, because I want to connect both those two wires, and I should probably try to pretend these two wires before I put them in here. There we go, and then we can connect these two to each other as well. Hopefully, with a little bit extra solder on our tip, can make it work. Something like that, maybe. It's not the prettiest soldering I've ever done, but I think it's gonna work. Let's check continuity real quick to just make sure. If I hold this, for example, right here, and then I hold it here and there, yeah, I think that's gonna work. Okay, now we have the pot. I'm super quickly just gonna go and get some super glue. No, the opposite of super glue, hot glue, and just put a dab down, because this pot doesn't want to stay stuck even though I screwed it in. See you in a bit. Alright, so you can see a little bit of hot glue just to help it. I don't know why it doesn't want to stay put, but now it at least... I mean, it doesn't want to stay put, but it's forced to by glue. So if I pull this wire up like this, I feel like this is the natural order of how it gets bent. Yeah, awesome, straight out of frame. So I'm gonna add the LED here, but I was actually thinking, or I had myself a think while I was hot gluing, if I add this here instead, then maybe we can actually have some fun experimenting with different LEDs or something. So let's see if this helping hand I have here can be of any help. It feels like it's mostly just in the way, to be honest. You know, if you want the hand in the way. So let's add that and then screw in the LED, and hopefully we can figure out that, you know, like maybe using different LEDs, for example, can give us different results. Maybe different levels of noise. I also don't have a nice connection. You know, I had a nice connection on one end, but I don't have a nice, like, all-around LED thing for... I mean, I have those 4 pedals, but they sit in the box, and they don't have a back or a underside or whatever you call it. So it's not really the same as this, where I would need something that covers all around. So I'm thinking we'll solder this connector on, and maybe you guys know of any cool connector things that I can add, and you can let me know in the comments below. And yeah, if you guys want to see like different LEDs, because right now I'm just going to put in the regular standard one, I think, and then I'm going to just you know, experiment with that. But then if you guys want to, we can experiment with different LEDs. So first we just solder these in place like so, put this to the side, and then when this has cooled for a little bit so that we can touch it, let's cover it with some hot glue, just so that we don't get any weird things going, you know. This is not particularly good looking, but I'm thinking once we know exactly what we want, and I've found like a LED holder thing or base or whatever you call it, then we can like cut this off and we can make it look nice and all that. Just gonna let it cool for a bit, but while that is cooling, Well, let's take a look here, because I probably should have done this immediately, but I forgot to. I need to unscrew these screws here. Some of you are like, probably like, yeah, you need to do that. You obviously need to do that, and you know exactly why. And some of you don't. I'm gonna see if I can slide this plate in. There we go. I got that in there. There we go. Let's see if we can cut this off so we can get to the legs. It can be a little fiddly. They have this plastic protection thing on because and you can't get to it, hence why it's so difficult to get to it. And I'm gonna try to keep my hands on it so that I can hold it in the right orientation, because I know the red one is the positive and the black one is the negative. So I have it here, I press it in, which you maybe can't tell, but I do. I press it in, I hold it in place, and then I'm going to tighten these screws down on the legs of the LED. Yeah, it's lighting up. Okay, give me a sec to find the knob, and then we'll do some crazy sounds. Okay guys, here it is now. This is what it looks like. It looks more like some sort of measuring device for like your car or something with cables, and I don't know, but I kind of like it, and it fits the hand pretty well. So you take a cable, you plug it in, you start up your amp or whatever you want to use. Well, maybe get some volume, and then let's see what happens. Let's see. There we go. Okay, so the knob doesn't do much. I was hoping that introducing a little bit of ground would not kill it. It might also be that I need to charge this because I've been playing around with it a little bit too much, maybe. Come on. Come on. There's definitely something going wrong here. Am I having some sort of glitch problem? I wish it was easier to control. But it is fun. There we go. I'm gonna go find a pedal that I think will sound cool. I'm just gonna pick something. Well, I don't know. Let's see. Okay guys, I'm back, and I picked this one. This is the Nero Mistress. Wow. It's a really cool pedal. Let's hope that it helps make crazy. I put the rate pretty high, and I put the feedback pretty high. Let's start the amp and see what happens. Come on. I'm controlling both at the same time now. It's a little fiddly. Yeah. Anyway. Oh. That's gonna be more than enough. Or maybe not nearly close enough. I don't know. Here it is. I think it's pretty cool. Yeah, I wish the control did something. It doesn't. I might have to open it up and, you know, re-solder something to make it do something else. Because there is a resistor in there, and there is a little transistor, I think it was, that are hiding behind here with the battery. It does affect it how much you charge it, I suppose, leave it out in the sun. So maybe I should take that into consideration a little bit more. I feel like it gets a little harder to make it make noises further into the day or night. That's the end of this video. I hope you liked it. I hope you find it weird and fun and inspiring, because I understand that building something like this might not be something that everyone want to do or can do. You know, if you don't have like those sorts of lights close to where you live in some sort of store. But what I really want to get to more is that in all electronics there is some sort of circuit, and you can mess with that circuit. It doesn't always have to be, you know, that you know what you're doing or that you know what you're going to get out. It can be just experimenting and see if you find something. And I understand that most of you most likely are not going to find this to be cool or fun or anything, you know, and you're going to think that this was a complete waste of time. But I think that there are some cool sounds in here that I could, you know, with a little bit of work, I could get them out there. And maybe I can record them and then, you know, edit the sounds in the computer, put them together and make some sort of music with it. I don't know. I have no idea. Or perhaps maybe, you know, maybe I will never use this. And someone out there will see the video and they will get inspired and they will build this and use the sounds and have fun. And they'll create something cool. And then I can enjoy that. So I think in some weird way, somehow, this is a win. That's how I decide to look at it. And I hope you do too. Anyway, until next time, don't forget to stay awesome and cool. And go and build something weird out of something. It doesn't have to be what I just made, but I hope it inspired you enough to do something. Okay? And I'll go now. So, bye-bye.